that this channel is all about investing, building wealth, personal finances, the stock market, crypto. Well, in today's episode, I actually want to do something a little bit different, and that is to show you how to start driving a Tesla, like a quick start guide, if you will. For those of you who maybe have never driven a Tesla or who are thinking about buying one, or maybe you just got in one and you're ready to take it for its first drive, but you're not sure exactly what all the features are or maybe how to get going. We're gonna break it down into 3 different sections. First section, we're gonna talk about are the features of the car, driving the car, and last but not least, charging the car. So hopefully you guys get a lot of value from this. Without further ado, let's dive in. So you have the screen here, you have the steering wheel, and then what you have down here might look different depending on which car you're in, but this is a charging pad. So next we have this little console here. To open it, you slide up, and essentially it stores all your stuff like keys, your wallet perhaps, or anything small. I usually keep my water bottle in here because it doesn't fit in the cup holders. And next, if you're wondering, how do I open the frunk or the trunk? Well, the frunk button is here, which I just opened it. It doesn't open all the way, but you can hear it popped out. And then also the trunk just opens like that. And as you can see, it is open. And now we're gonna go ahead and hit close, and there you have the auto close feature as well. Pretty cool. But next we're gonna talk about the seating arrangement. So as you can see, I'm pretty close to the steering wheel, but what if I wanted to create a profile and change my seating arrangement? So here I can go to add new driver. Up here, we can go and type in like guest, for example, or your name, right? And we can create profile, and it will give me mirror adjustment and steering wheel adjustment. If I move the seat back, it will also save the position on there as well. But this is for the mirrors and the steering wheel. So first let's do the steering wheel. And with the steering wheel, if we go up, it will move up. If we go down, it will move down. And then right is in and left is out. And then also if we wanted to do the mirrors, we could do the same thing. If I go right on the steering wheel, it will go right. And if I go left on this knob on the steering wheel, it will go left. And then same thing, up is up, and then down is down. So there you have that. Once you're ready, you can go ahead and save profile, and that is your profile. Now it's every time you get into the car, it's going to remember, and if for some reason it doesn't and it stays on easy entry or maybe a different profile, you can just go ahead, click up here, and then click there, and it will move your seat and everything else to your preference. Now that you have that down, let's talk about the Bluetooth for phone. Now you see all these buttons down here, you're like, oh my gosh, this looks so messy. Well, if you want to get to Bluetooth, it's actually up here. There you have the Bluetooth, and you can set your priority device, you can forget the device, you can add a new device. So if I wanted to add a device, I just need to have my Bluetooth on my phone, and once I have that, you have this available to you, and you can start searching and it will find the phone. But it's pretty easy to use. Once you have your phone set up, it will look like this, and you can set like a priority device or sync contacts, recent calls, sync messages, chime on message, things like that. All right, so here we have the screen, and essentially what you need to know about this are the settings. So here are all the driving quick control settings. So you have quick controls like exterior lights, mirror adjustment, steering wheel, you have the fold mirrors. There you have a little bit of a gimmick there, but it's really nice to have if you have to park in, a really tight area. You have lights, you have locks, so this is where you can add your key cards, things like that. You have your display, so brightness, I usually set it to auto. You have a screen cleaning mode in here, so if it gets really dirty, you can just wipe it down. Driving, everything from acceleration, steering mode, stopping mode, and even slip start if you're stuck in the mud or the snow. Autopilot features, really cool stuff in here if you want to offset, certain speed limitations, if you want speed limit warnings. I have mine set to chime if I go 20 miles per hour or over. Then you can also have forward collision warnings. I have mine set to early, so it will actually notify me, hey,
someone is slowing down in front of you, watch out.
So lane departure avoidance, as you can see here, you have off, warning, or assist. I have assist, so if for some reason I'm not paying attention, it'll actually help correct me. And then you have all these other features down here as well. Navigation, you can have, her talk to you if you like her to talk to you while you're driving. If not, you can just turn that down like I do here. They have the trip planner as well. This will plan out your trip for superchargers, and I personally love it. I haven't had any issues with it at all. Online routing is super awesome. Reroute if it saves more than 10 minutes. Usually I actually have this down to 1 minute or 2 minutes, because this, I like saving time whenever I'm going places. Now, avoid ferries, avoid tolls, and use HOV lanes. These are things that you might want to have on. I don't personally have them on, but you can have them on depending on where you live. Safety and security, stuff like that in here. Speed limit mode is for something that maybe if you want to have other people driving your car, that's really useful. Sentry mode, usually I have this on, but this is a really nice feature. This will activate cameras when you walk away from the car if someone gets close to the car. So kind of like a little bit of an assistant when it comes to securing your car. Dash cam save clips on honk. I usually have that on, and you want to have a USB drive plugged in order to have this feature on. Security alarm, have my glove box pin on, so that way if someone breaks into my car, they can't get into the glove box. And also, if I wanted to set a pin to drive, if I had someone break in my car and there was a key card in here, I can actually set the pin to drive. But because I have people renting out my car, I don't have it pinned to drive. Now, cabin overheat protection, I have that on. So that means if it's a really hot day, the car gets like 130, 140, or 150 in the car, which is definitely possible. I've had it 138 in the car very, very recently. And this feature will also turn on the AC in case it gets really hot in the cabin. Next, we have our music. You can just go ahead and click on that, swipe up, and essentially you can connect a phone, or if you want to just stream some music, you have that option here as well. Now, the radio option, I don't really use this, but some people do. This is for the radio. And then you can connect your Spotify, or if you want to do some karaoke while you drive. This is just something that's like karaoke, but you can sing along and it'll put the lyrics on the screen while you're driving. Usually, if you want to sing along, I would recommend setting it on autopilot or full self-driving. The next thing we have is the windshield wipers. Usually, you don't want to access this through here. You want to access it through here while you're driving, but this is if you're parked, maybe you want to turn them on, you can do it here and set them on automatic if you want it on auto, or you can disable it. Down here, you have your camera, which is also down here as a quick setting. You have your calendar, you can call, you can look at your energy, you can look at your charging. The web option is also in here. Entertainment, this is where you have all your games. If you go here, you can set up your Netflix, your Hulu, your YouTube, your Twitch, and you can watch Tesla tutorials, but you probably won't need one after this. Then we have the toy box, which is one of my favorite features. You could do boom box, you could do emissions, which is just a fart machine. You can make a beat, you can have romance mode, which will turn on the heater, and it will also play this little fireplace. You have your sketch pad. You can drive on Mars, which is instead of driving on the real roads, if you know where you're going, it will just show your car as a rover on Mars, which is kind of cool. Then you have Santa mode and Rainbow Road mode. I don't use these personally, but I've seen people use them and it's a lot of fun. Then you have your seat heaters down here if you want to do high, medium, low, and then off, and same thing on this side. If you want to do the back, you actually have to go into this setting here and then click this, and this also allows you to turn on the steering wheel, or if you want to heat one of these back seats as well. Now, if you wanted to play around with the AC, you can actually just do it down here, but some people get annoyed with this because it's not super accurate, but personally this works for me. But some people will go and turn off auto, and that way they can turn on all these different settings down here and get the AC cranking if it's really hot. Now, maybe you're driving and you like it hot, and then maybe if your passenger likes it cold or vice versa, you can actually click this button and click sync and turn off the sync mode, and you can set yours to maybe 70 and maybe your partner's to 68. Really nifty. There you have most of the features down here. Music is down here, but you can also control the music here, as you can see. Now, that's pretty much everything that you need to see up here. As far as driving, you actually just need to push this button down, and you have to push down on the brake. If I don't do that and I put it in drive, it's gonna tell me, well, hey, nothing's working. Press the brake. So push the brake, put it in drive, and voila. This is to put it in park right here, or you can just open the door and it will do the exact same thing, but only the driver door. Now, if I wanted to go into reverse, which I'm already all the way reversed, but if I wanted to go to reverse, same thing, but instead of down, you go up, and that puts it in R. And as you can see, the backup cameras turn on as well. Now we're gonna put it back in park, and I'm gonna show you what neutral looks like. So a lot of people, when they go into the car wash for the first time, like me, they get really confused and scared because they don't know how to work neutral and they think it's gonna mess up their car if they go through the car wash without having it in neutral. So to put it in neutral, you just push the brake and you just lightly tap twice to neutral. You can do it once as well, and I think it puts it right in neutral as well, but what I was taught was twice, and I don't know, sometimes maybe it doesn't work the first time, and that is why they say to do it twice. So next, let's get on the road and start driving, and I'll show you some of that as well. So let's go ahead and activate autopilot. We're gonna go ahead and do that by pushing this notch down twice, and now we're in autopilot. As you can see on the screen, we have these two blue lines, and this is also blue on the steering wheel there. Technically, I don't need to have my hands on the steering wheel anymore, but I will keep it on there for safety reasons, and we're gonna go ahead and switch lanes. In order to do so, you actually need to kick it out of autopilot. The only way to do that is either to push on this knob up here or down. Either way, it's gonna push it out, or you can actually nudge the steering wheel a little bit. But in order to do that and do it safely, I like to turn on my blinker, which is on the right side. It kicked me out of autopilot, and I went ahead and merged over to the other lane. Okay, so we just got home, and another cool feature I wanted to show you is when you swipe right on the screen below the car, it'll show your PSI for the tires. And let's go plug in the car and show you what that looks like as well. So here we go. And voila, there you have the charging, and it slowly starts up. Usually it will say 0 miles per hour, but don't worry, that will start to go up like it is now. And then when you're at a supercharger, this is a regular charger, but when you're at a supercharger, it will show you how much you owe here, and it will go onto the account of whoever is the owner. So if you're the owner on your Tesla account, it will go to that card that's on file, and it will show you the total final bill right here. Now, if you want to find chargers while you're out and about, that is down here. Sometimes it goes away if you click on the screen, and sometimes it pops up. So you want to click on the screen, you want to have that pop up, and then voila, there you have all the superchargers and even regular chargers. Once you zoom in, if you notice, there are some of these gray ones like this. Those are regular chargers, and the red ones are like that. If you actually, instead of clicking here to go to it, if you click on one of the chargers, it will also show you the pricing at each charger per kilowatt hour. You'll get used to what that means once you get going if you're not familiar with that, but some are cheaper and some are more expensive. So that one is 18 cents per kilowatt hour. Here's one that goes up to 36 cents at between 11 and 7. Again, those are peak hours, so of course they're gonna be more expensive. The one here in Draper actually is 35 cents per kilowatt hour, but it is so much faster, 250 kilowatt max, versus over here where the max is only 150. So that is also something to consider depending on how much you're willing to wait or how much you want to pay. All depends on the charger that you go to. So remember to look at that when considering charging at a supercharger instead of at home maybe. All right, that's the end of the episode. If there's something that I missed that you want to know about, make sure to leave it down in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out. Oh, and if you got value from that episode, YouTube actually suggests these 2 videos that you might enjoy as well.